Hi gorgeous ones. Look, I'm going to call today's little session a psychic Q&A, where I answer a few questions that I've had from people about this whole psychic business. How does it work? What does it mean? How do I use it? So maybe today's video will answer a few of your questions too. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, my name is Lucretia Ackfield and I am an author and a psychic channel. And today I want to answer some of the questions I've had fairly recently about what it means to be a psychic channel and how do I use my gift and what's it all about. Because, you know, some people don't really talk about this stuff openly, and I am all about being the fullest expression of me and helping people to understand how the whole psychic channel thing works, and also helping people out there who are like me, who are energetically sensitive, highly empathic, helping people like you to better understand your gifts and how you can manage them, and then leverage that to get you out there to do what it is that your soul's calling you to do. So here's the first question. I had this from a friend of mine the other day. She's 18 and she's highly intuitive, and sometimes she has visions. And so when I started talking about, you know, my gifts, she's like, well, how does it work for you? And I guess the first thing I want to say in answer to that question, how does it work for me, is that if you are energetically sensitive or psychic or highly empathic, your gift is going to show up in a number of different ways, and it's never going to be really exactly the same as it shows up for someone else. Because just like you have a different personality to other people, you have different DNA to other people, your gifts will show up in a way that is unique to you. So that's the first thing you need to understand. The second thing, I guess, is for me, my gifts show up in a whole range of ways. Some of the top things that come to mind is that, for example, when I meet someone for the first time, or I'm having a conversation with someone, sometimes I will get insights about them that I'm not necessarily trying to get. It's just because I'm kind of like a giant, if you think about it, like I'm a giant TV antenna or a radio antenna. And so I'm a channel, my antenna is out, and sometimes I will pick up noise, you know, other stations. And that might give me insights about the people and the places and the spaces around me. So I might meet somebody and they might be telling me something about their life. And for example, what sometimes happens is I will get a constriction in my throat if that person is not actually telling me their truth, is not allowing themselves to say what it is that they really want to say. And I will feel like a constriction right here, like I might even cough, or just, you know, feel like my throat's getting really tight, or that there's a lump in my throat even. So that's one way it can show up for me. The other way is that and this has happened to me a few times when I've been working in the corporate space, because my background is in communications and PR and engagement and media and all that kind of stuff. I can be sitting next to someone. I remember it's happened a couple of times with a couple of different bosses that I've had over the years, and they'll be sitting across from me in a meeting or beside me, and on the outside, anyone else would look at them and think, oh, they're totally calm, they've got everything under control, etc., etc. But when they sit down next to me or opposite me, I will just feel like this full-on hit of anxiety. And that can really take you aback if you're not expecting it. And certainly I'm not expecting that. And then the really interesting thing is that you'll have there'll be like a disconnect between what you can see visually and what you can feel. And this is something that I know a lot of people who are energetically sensitive, psychic, empathic, however you choose to describe yourself, this is something that I know a lot of us struggle with sometimes, because what you're presented with on the surface when you just look at someone is going to often be directly contradicting what you're feeling within you is the actual truth. And this is where you need to have some discernment and make sure that you're very grounded and that you're really in tune and present to yourself before you start to try and understand what's going on for other people. But I guess that's actually another video. So understand that sometimes you're going to be picking up other people's stuff, and certainly that's how it works for me. And just because you're picking it up doesn't mean you're supposed to do anything with it. It just means that you're really sensitive to the people and places and the spaces around you. And that's just how it goes. Now, I guess the other thing I want to add to that is on those occasions, like for example, when I'm sitting in these meetings with my bosses and I'm picking up this stuff, often what's happening in those situations is, first of all, I'm not actively seeking to gain that energetic information from them. Because quite frankly, if I spent all of my time trying to pick up what's going on for everybody else, every time I have a conversation, every time I'm in a room with someone, that would be so exhausting for me, and I would become a burnt out shell. And that's not, and I'm not interested in doing that. But what is happening in those situations, and there's two that come to mind in particular, is that I was working very closely with both those people, and secondly, I was quite tired and not really doing the level of self-care and the energetic boundary work that I probably needed to be doing at that time to look after myself. And so that meant that my energy space was quite porous, and then I was more likely to pick up other people's stuff just because I wasn't looking after my zone, my energetic space. So I hope that is helpful in helping you to understand how sometimes energetic sensitivity might show up. You can feel it. And I guess the other thing too is, if you're sitting there scratching your head now and you're like, hang on, but she's saying she could feel their anxiety. What does that mean? Well, just like I had the throat constriction when someone wasn't telling me their truth, when I feel someone's anxiety, sometimes it will just be like this massive hit of anxiousness in my gut. You know, when you feel anxious, you get it. Well, if I'm picking that up from someone else, I will literally feel it as if it's my anxiety, because it will be within my gut, within my body. And that can make things really tricky, especially if you're much earlier on in your energetic awareness. Because you may not understand that the anxiety you're feeling is actually someone else's. And certainly when I look back in my life, when I was in my teens and in my 20s for sure, when I did not have any understanding of my level of energetic sensitivity to other people and places, I had a huge amount of anxiety. And when I look back now, I think far out. Yeah, I was anxious and doing all the perfectionism stuff and lots of stuff there. But there was an overlay there of picking up other people's anxiety that I had no understanding of. And that actually made my life a lot more difficult than it needed to be. And so when I work with clients now, I guess I'm on a bit of a mission when it comes to energetic boundaries and helping them to understand exactly how that works, because if you don't know you're picking up other people's stuff, it makes your life really, really hard, because sometimes you can think you're going a bit nuts when you're actually really not. You're actually pretty normal. Well, normal in my, perspective on life, which is not normal for everyone else. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful. If it has been, leave me a comment underneath. If you've got questions of what it's like to be psychic or energetically sensitive, or something that's going on for you like that, you're trying to understand, drop me a line. I'm happy to answer questions. And until next time, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you are learning how to trust yourself more and more every day. And I can't wait to see what you do next. Take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.